Imagine a world where land was never conquered, not by humans, not by animals, not even by the simplest life forms. Where the vast continents remain eerily empty, barren, and lifeless, while oceans teem with unimaginable diversity. No forests, no deserts, no sprawling cities, just endless blue, stretching into eternity. It all started hundreds of millions of years ago. In this timeline, evolution chose a different path. The tiny, pioneering fish that once dared to crawl onto the first muddy shores recoiled. A mysterious twist of fate or perhaps a catastrophic environmental shift kept them trapped in the water. The seas became the ultimate cradle of life, while the land, vast, sun-baked, and empty, remained untouched by scales, feathers, fur, or feet. The immediate impact was surreal. Rivers and lakes were no longer bridges to new worlds but prisons. Plants never evolved to colonize the land, leaving the continents as sterile deserts. The oxygen-rich atmosphere humans take for granted? It's thinner, hazy with primitive plankton blooms and algae, floating like green clouds over endless blue oceans. Rain still falls, yet without land plants to anchor soil and filter water, storms carve new canyons daily, reshaping the barren lands constantly. Meanwhile, life underwater exploded like never before. Imagine forests, but not of trees, of coral and kelp, towering hundreds of meters, home to creatures whose size and intelligence rival anything humanity has ever dreamed. Giant squid patrol like urban gangs, rivaling lions in cunning and ferocity. Schools of hyper-intelligent fish communicate in frequencies we cannot hear, plotting migrations that span entire oceans. Sharks have developed rudimentary societies, even primitive laws enforced through sheer predation. The oceans became everything: home, battleground, office, laboratory, and playground. In this reality, humans never existed, or if they did, they are aquatic beings, with gills and webbed fingers, navigating cities built in the watery depths. We would have evolved to ride currents instead of cars, to hunt with sonar and tentacle-like tools, to create entertainment that dazzles through bioluminescence instead of screens. The turning point was more than evolutionary. It was revolutionary. The moment life chose to stay submerged, every other aspect of what we think of as civilization had to adapt or die. Entire forms of society as we know them, armies, governance, commerce, transformed underwater. Conflicts are fought in currents, espionage carried out through camouflaged octopus spies. And intelligence itself changed, depth, darkness, and pressure became the forge of mental evolution. Fast forward to today, and the world is unrecognizable. Oceans dominate the planet like an all-powerful empire. There are no highways, no skyscrapers, no airports, only vast, pulsating underwater cities made of coral, bioengineered shells, and bioluminescent towers. The streets, are currents, and traffic jams consist of schools of fish competing for space and light. Science has advanced in ways humanity never imagined, but underwater. Bioluminescence replaces electricity. Communication is sonar-based, with complex languages of clicks, pulses, and colors. Medicine involves extracting rare compounds from deep-sea creatures rather than synthesizing chemicals. War. Forget tanks and fighter jets. Armies of genetically enhanced cephalopods, armored fish, and territorial sharks patrol borders. Special forces. Electric eels trained as shock troops. The notion of stealth is literal: camouflage, invisibility, and speed are survival essentials. Entertainment is no longer on screens, it's an immersive dance of light and movement. Imagine concerts where jellyfish project synchronized lights while dolphins choreograph acrobatics, all witnessed by an audience of mesmerized octopuses. Sports. Entire leagues exist, but they unfold in the three-dimensional playground of the ocean, with currents as playing fields and predators as referees of fear. Fashion has morphed into something unthinkable for land dwellers. Flexible exoskeletons, shimmering scales, and filament appendages replace fabric. Identity is expressed through color-changing patterns, fin shapes, and bioluminescent tattoos, your social status visible across the dark waters. Even governance has been revolutionized. There are no parliaments, no bureaucrats. Leadership is earned through intelligence, adaptability, and dominance. Think councils of elder whales, strategic shark generals, and wise octopus tacticians. Law enforcement. Predators enforce order in brutal but surprisingly effective ways. Crime is rare, because one misstep in these oceans can literally be fatal. But the near future is even more radical. Evolution continues at a terrifying pace. Some species are beginning to manipulate water pressure to create air pockets, rudimentary homes, or laboratories. Others experiment with symbiosis to develop intelligence beyond comprehension. Imagine a squid with the mental power of a supercomputer, coordinating entire reef cities. Humanity, if it exists at all, is a fragile, evolving aquatic species, witnessing a world dominated by creatures who make land-based humans look like naive toddlers. The world above remains dead. Storms carve new trenches, volcanic islands rise and sink, yet life never touches them. Human myths of flying, walking, or climbing exist only in the imagination, an unreachable fantasy. The oceans are alive, brutal, and beautiful. In this oceanic world, every facet of society has been rewritten by water. The army is a nightmare of nature and evolution combined. Imagine tactical units of genetically enhanced sharks, equipped with bioelectric weapons. Squid intelligence units infiltrate enemy currents, hacking sonar networks and disabling entire reef cities. Dolphins act as swift reconnaissance, sending coded clicks that ripple through entire undersea territories. War is no longer about land, armor, or bullets, it's about speed, pressure manipulation, and mind-bending coordination that would terrify any human general. Police are even stranger. Law enforcement isn't bureaucratic, it's instinctual and lethal. Rogue predators are hunted not with guns, but with the sheer cunning of coordinated packs. Octopus detectives infiltrate crime rings, changing skin patterns to blend seamlessly. Electric eels patrol marketplaces, sending shocks to any fish foolish enough to steal or fight. Crime exists, but the consequences are immediate, brutal, and unforgettable. Violators rarely survive their mistakes. Science thrives, but it's alien to us. Laboratories are hydrothermal vents or deep-sea trenches, with researchers diving thousands of meters to study rare life forms. Technology merges biology and engineering, bioluminescent communication networks, self-repairing coral cities, and genetically programmed organisms performing tasks from construction to navigation. Human science pales in comparison. Even if humans exist, they're still learning to breathe water properly, while squid mathematicians calculate the currents that govern entire ecosystems. Entertainment has evolved into something almost incomprehensible. Imagine games that last for months, played across hundreds of kilometers of ocean, where players ride currents, evade predators, and perform acrobatic feats with deadly stakes. Music is no longer auditory, it's multisensory, vibrations through water, color patterns, and synchronized movements that can induce euphoria or fear. Storytelling is literal, entire events are enacted live in the vast arenas of coral towers. Culture itself is unrecognizable. Clothing has been replaced by color patterns, fin modifications, and glowing appendages. Identity is fluid, literally changing with mood, social alliances, and environmental conditions. Art is sculpted from living coral, sound waves, and kinetic bioluminescence. Even religion or philosophy has evolved to revolve around currents, depth, and the primordial forces of the ocean. Humans, if present at all, are spectators, barely capable of understanding the complex morality, etiquette, and politics of this alien world. Yet, despite all this advancement, danger is constant. Life in the ocean is a brutal balance between genius and survival. One wrong move, one misjudged current, and even the most intelligent creature can become prey. It's a world where evolution never stops, where intelligence isn't measured in words or tools but in adaptability, cunning, and the ability to thrive under immense pressure, both literally and figuratively. Now, imagine the world centuries or even millennia from now. The oceans are no longer just a habitat, they are entire civilizations, empires, and universes unto themselves. Life has evolved in ways so radical that human intelligence seems quaint. Creatures manipulate water pressure to build cities miles below the surface. Schools of fish coordinate like neural networks, forming collective consciousness capable of predicting environmental changes decades in advance. Whales act as historians, storing knowledge in their songs that span generations. Wars, once brutal, have transformed into battles of strategy and intelligence. Territories shift as currents change, alliances form and dissolve in the blink of an eye, and predators now govern entire economies of energy and resources. Science has reached a point where even the concept of invention is obsolete. Organisms now bioengineer themselves, redesigning organs, senses, and even thought patterns to better survive and dominate. Entertainment and culture are equally extreme. Entire species participate in ritualistic light displays that last weeks, blending sport, theater, and religious observance into a single breathtaking experience. Music pulses through the water in ways we cannot even perceive. Art is alive, constantly growing and evolving. Identity is fluid, shifting with the tides, alliances, and the collective needs of the ecosystem. The philosophical implications are staggering. Humans, or humanoid descendants, if they exist, face questions that once seemed absurd. What does it mean to be intelligent when survival is instinctive and collective? What is morality in a world where every action has immediate, life-or-death consequences? Is creativity still meaningful when evolution itself sculpts every form of expression? The oceans force a level of adaptation, ingenuity, and courage unimaginable to surface dwellers. And here's the shocker: land is still empty, lifeless, and sterile. Desert winds blow across barren continents. Mountains rise and fall without witness. If humans dream of exploration, conquest, or adventure, it is impossible. They are creatures of the water now, and the surface is a ghostly museum of what could have been. So, what do you think? Would you survive in a world ruled entirely by the ocean? Could humanity, or any land-based species, ever rise to challenge these hyper-evolved underwater civilizations? Or is the ocean the ultimate destiny for life on Earth, a place where only the cunning, adaptable, and fearless can thrive? Comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to suggest the next what-if scenario. Should we explore what if the sky was solid and you couldn't fly? Or what if humans never invented fire? Your ideas could be featured in our next viral episode.